Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. Tonight we are going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons, but we're going to be playing Caverns of Thracia. We kind of did a little bit of a start of this one. Was that just last week that we played? Yeah. So we did a small adventure right here at the game table and we'll kick this whole thing off. And now we've got some characters that were a part of that initial adventure, and some that are brand new. Coin Spinner, Nathan, thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate that. So this game, if you recall any of our community campaign games that we used to do, it's probably going to function very similarly. We're going to have a lot of different characters coming and going from session to session, and is a fun little romp through. There might be some hex crawling. There's definitely going to be some dungeon crawling, but it is really intended just to be a fun thing to do with everyone that's here and part of 20 Sides to Every Story, kind of a game where we all get to kind of interact and play with one another. So that being said, if you want to get in on this, all you have to do is maybe jump into our Discord server and let us know. You can either jump in there and send me a private DM, or I mean, you could really just drop a message in lobby, and I would be happy to get you onboarded with what you need to have to set up a character, a level 1 character, and sign up for a game. I'll probably be posting these sessions on YouTube, and I just feel like I need to put this disclaimer on maybe all of the videos I put out. We are not professional like whatever, like we're not here really performing or anything. Like, we're just literally playing our game. So like, if you think it sucks or something, it's probably valid, but we're having fun, so that's what matters. So you could continue to watch at your own peril. We're gonna, some of the characters, Argos and Lucky, were in on the first session, so the intro here is going to kind of focus on them, and then piecemeal we'll bring Nick, Percy, and Nathan into the story as well. But where we last left off, maybe I'll pop his picture up. We gotta talk about Merkle. Mr. Thornprice here. So Captain Merkle Thornprice here is a treasure hunter, and he had hired a trio of adventurers to embark out on an expedition to retrieve the remnant hoard of a deceased red dragon. Two of those characters are with us here tonight. And maybe I will have them introduce their characters as we get started here. So, Dawson, why don't you lead us off? Tell us what we need to know about Argos and anything you want to tell us about maybe his first adventure.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Dawson. I'm playing Argos, the Dogfolk Warlock Hexblade. What you would see out of Argos, he has the characteristics of a Schnauzer, giant Schnauzer to be exact. A little taller fella, a little more, I wouldn't say fluffier, like bushier. He's a little older in age. You can see like the grays appearing on the around the nose and the mouth. But still dresses himself, you would probably consider, a little too well for what he's doing. So like the very nice, like almost like aristocratic jackets, like cufflings, the full 9 yards. Like he always needs a powder wig at this point. You see him walking around with a cane at most points, which seems to have been upgraded or fixed to such a way that it has like a larger cane head to it that it looks like it would really hurt if you got hit by it, and presents himself in a manner of which you would say a dignified buffoon almost. He seems to be spouting a lot of fancy words, but who knows how much of it he actually knows. And that's Argos.
Awesome, thank you. Let's hear from my dad, who's playing Lucky.
I am Cliff, Alex's dad, and I am playing Lucky, as he says. And I am a dog folk individual as well. I don't have any pure blood background. I don't even know who my father was. But I am a ranger, and since the first outing that we have I have gone up to second level now, so got a little bit, few more hit points to last a little bit better, and we did pick up a little bit of money in that first adventure, so I was able to buy a couple items to replace my thieves' tools and that was destroyed in the first time out, and bought a little bit better armor, so that went up a little bit.
Excellent. Yes, so we got a couple of level 2s here, and all dog folk. There's going to be a lot of dog folk in this campaign. Anytime you present a new species option like that, I mean, come on, like, why wouldn't you? So yes, so these are 2 of the 3 characters from the first session. They had a good bit of fortune. Um, their expedition was a success. Nobody got burned up or killed by a feral infant baby dragon that was still crawling around in the lava tubes of Cauldron. So you all returned back to port aboard Captain Thornprice's ship, the Pauper Tiger, and he assured you that he had numerous bidders that were interested in the treasure that you hauled out from the Dragon's Hall. He was confident that he would be able to maximize the value of the haul and be able to split, as per your arrangement with him, a 50-50 split of the profits from that. You spent about a week in port, and you earned some well-earned relaxation and awaited on Captain Thornprice to make good on his promises to you. And then,
And we are dragon slayers now too.
yes, you can credibly say that with an asterisk maybe attached to it, but you know, you don't have to explain the asterisk to anybody that you just meet for the first time. I'm sure they'll be able to poke holes in your story if talked to for long enough, but no, you can technically say that. So just as you were getting comfortable with your situation in Chiopolis, maybe after a long day of spending some time amongst the city, you returned back to the inn where you were staying, and during the dead of night, you were startled awake by a very frantic Thornprice, sweating, short of breath, and he rustled you awake and said, "Good news, lads. The deal is done. Our fortune is secured. Bad news. We need to leave now. No time to explain. Pack your things and get to the harbor. We need to leave now." And with no time to ask questions, you were forced to awake, gather your things, and hustle down to the harbor, where you found the crew of the Pauper Tiger rushing to untie ropes, secure the rigging of the ship, and set sail at this very strange hour. As you set sail into the sea, Thornprice directed the ship due west. And on your voyage, he explained that he had been dealing with 2 prominent crime families within Chiopolis. His goal was to secure the maximum amount of profit possible from the haul that you had received. And he used the tensions between 2 families, the Rapshires and the Castoles, to kind of brew up a bidding war between the 2. And when news broke out that he had settled with the Castoles, the Rapshires began to riot and bring violence into the street to satiate their wounded pride, which, for Thornprice, was time to go. And so, for his part, now that you, after you had set sail, his anxieties seemed to settle, and he almost immediately had turned his attention to the next expedition. He calls you all over as dawn is breaking, and you're rounding the northwestern coast of the island of Thracia, and he says, Argos, Lucky, there was another map among the contents of your treasure haul, a map that was labeled Thracia. Not the island itself, or I'm sure you heard the locals refer to Chiopolis as New Thracia, but no, I believe that what this map is detailing for us is the long-abandoned, ruined city of Thracia, the original city. the seat of power for the old king Agamnos, son of Argos II, and another likely site of innumerable wealth.
I meant to keep that map myself.
Well, finders
Fantastic
keepers,
find.
Lucky.
Never mind.
You wouldn't know what to do with it, Lucky. You would have been best advised to hand it over to me. It would be very dangerous for us to go there unprepared. We're going to need a strong crew. We're going to need more than just the three of us. When we get to Hanowa, which is our destination, we will find a few others, and I think I am not wrong in saying that I've whet your appetite for adventure, yes? You want more gold. You want more wealth. That was just the tip of the iceberg back there at Cauldron. There's... What I'm talking about in Thracia will be monumentally more.
Oh, monumentally.
Oh yes,
Okay.
gold is
I'm in.
mighty find and all, but it's more of renown I'm after of sorts. And if what you say is true, and us possibly finding these ruins could spout great, fortunes beyond mere coin that we could possibly think of. Think about it, Mr. Thornprice. You could be the head expeditionary man across the entire Isles.
Well,
Everyone will know your name.
what you say, Argos, is true. The treasures from Thracia would bear historical value. From what I understand, there are very few artifacts from that time that have shown up on auction blocks and in the parlors of collectors and such. You would not be wrong to say that securing any number of treasures from there would definitely put your name amongst the high echelons of treasure hunters who would be called upon for your personal testimony of how you found such things. As for myself, I'm really in it for the gold. I don't need the name recognition. I don't need the reputation. What I need is, well, let's just leave it at that. But I have secured a good amount of coin from that previous haul. I think we've got enough money to maybe hire on a few good traveling companions for us, people that we will allow into our good fortune and wealth. Equal shares for all.
All of what you're saying sounds good to me, and I believe we should make haste while the sun still shines upon this wonderful news you've brought us. Why delay?
Well, we'll be arriving in port soon. I say we secure our crew, get a good night's rest, and head out in the morning. And as he says that, you're already kind of weary and tired, having only gotten a couple hours of sleep. Dawn is quickly approaching as the ship arrives in the port of Hanowa. Hanowa is not so much different than Chiopolis was, although it maybe feels dated. It's probably about the same size, but it just feels like it's maybe a few decades in the past in comparison. Chiopolis probably has a little bit more contact with the outer world. Probably quite a few more merchants from far off places, whereas Hanowa is maybe more primarily locals, even though it's still a pretty well developed city. Pretty much anything that you might need to find or buy in terms of mundane things, you'd be able to find artisans or craftsmen or merchants for. But as you arrive in Hanowa City, Mr. Thornprice kind of leaves the crew behind to tend to the ship, and he takes the two of you around to the western side of the city. And he kind of takes you to kind of a dockside quarter down a pretty drab, bleak-looking alleyway. And he says, if you need to find good people, reliable people, this is the place you go. And there's
It's kind of shady to me.
yeah, you're looking around like there's like maybe some garbage in the street. It's just like a walled off like dead end. Like it looks like a back alley of like maybe some other stores, but like there's no clear place that he's leading you.
Right. The good people. Yes. I'm kind of just adjust my coat a little bit.
he's like moving some crates and things around. Here it is, and you can see that he's pointing to a there's like a trap door in the floor, and there's a iron ring on it, and he opens it up, and he just says, "Welcome to the fly trap." And there's like a kind of rickety old ladder that goes down, but like as soon as he opens it, you can kind of hear voices, and there's like smoke that kind of billows up, like pipe smoke billows up. And he leads you down into kind of a pretty cramped, low ceilinged tavern. Definitely a lot of folk in here that look pretty rough, a lot of tattooed sailors, and other mercenary types seated about. And Thornprice goes and gets a pitcher of water from the bar and goes and sits down at a table. Now, we wait.
I can see why it's called the fly trap. There's bugs all over this place.
Well, yes. Yes. But I think that Apollo will bless us with a few good companions here. My heart tells me this is the place. Look, another dog folk. And Nathan, what do we see when we look across the bar to wherever your character is in this place?
So you'll see he's a dog folk, Saint Bernard style, like so he's big and kind of bulky, not necessarily muscular, but big. And you notice he's got like the traditional like little cask under his collar, and you see him occasionally like take it and take a swig out of it and hook it back on. And he's dressed in chainmail. He is he's a cleric. He's a follower of Nuada, god of battle, and he's happy to preach to people with either his hand or his warhammer as it's needed. He looks pretty rough. Looks like he doesn't feel super comfortable in town. Like he's used to being out in the wilderness more than being in town.
Well, I would say to you that you were not the dog for this job. No, I think this one should be lucky. I think he may be able to relate to him a little bit better. Let's see. Argos, there must be somebody in here that we could have you talk to.
How about that one over there?
That kitty cat?
Yes.
And Nick, what do we see when we look over where your character is situated?
Artemis is probably like picking out his claws with a dagger. He looks like the very most probably stereotypical loner character that you make as your first D&D character, the one that's the rebel that likes to be alone, and then you realize that can't work in a party. But that's who he is. At this point, he's kind of like would rather work alone, but he's accepted that he can't do everything by himself. So he's kind of always looking for work, but that's why he's probably here, just trying to find the next thing that's gonna be able to buy his dinner.
Yes, Argos, I think you've got a good eye. There's something about that one that I think they may have some skills that we need. Now, to round it out, I think we need to find a local.
You see anyone lucky who could work?
What about that guy over there?
I was thinking the same thing. A lizard folk would be very useful. They're abundant here on the island. We may need a guide or an interpreter. I will go and speak with him. Well, yeah, I will leave it to each of you to persuade in whatever way that you can. Let them know. Equal shares. And let them know. Don't say too much, of course. We don't want too many people overhearing and knowing that we're launching this expedition, but let them know that it is it's ironclad. They will be made whole if they join with us. And with that, he just kind of scoots his stool back and he starts to approach the lizard folk in the tavern. Percy, what do we see over in your corner?
So he's green-skinned lizard folk. He's very well dressed in a robe, and he's looking over to the right, and you see him. He snatches over with his hand and grabs one of the cockroaches and bites its head off and starts eating it, and immediately starts looking for another one.
Thornprice kind of stops in his tracks for just a moment and goes, "Easy, Thornprice. You've dealt with more difficult customers than this. You can do this." And you are approached by this goblin. He says, "Hello. Might I be able to buy you a drink, something to wash that down?"
Who might say no? What are you?
"I am a captain, treasure seeker, and one with
I,
considerable
I-
means behind my name. And I have need of one like you. Are you an adventurer?"
for what? I am.
"Well, that is
Do
good,
you
because I
promise
offer
gold?
adventure. Well, with adventure comes gold. So the two are like salt and pepper.
Where would we be going?
Into the heart of the island. I have...
I'm in.
Well, very good.
Just me and you?
No, I have a crew.
Excellent.
Are you from this island, my friend?"
I am.
"That is just perfect. We suspect we may encounter others of your kind here on the island, and we're hoping that you might be able to interpret for us and allow others to know that we mean them no harm. If we crossing any cultural taboos and such, you will let us know, yes?"
Absolutely.
"And
When do we leave?
we leave in the morning.
Oh, very well.
We can meet back here if you like, and we'll set out in the morning. Be sure to get a lot of rest, pack what things you need. I will supply your food, your water, and the necessities, but whatever items that you feel that you need for this expedition, bring with you. We may not be coming back here for some time."
I will be prepared.
And as things seem to be going very well with Thornprice and his recruit, why don't we turn our attention over to where Lucky is speaking with Colm.
Oh, hello there. Are hello
Hello.
there. Are you by chance looking for work?
What kind of work are we speaking of?
Well, we have a little adventure that we're going on, and it promises to make us some money and finding some treasure. So we were just on an adventure, and we made out quite well. And this is a continuation of what we found at the first place. So we have it on good authority that you'll have an equal share in whatever we find.
Money and adventure. Will there be fighting?
Well, we wouldn't really need anyone if there wasn't. There's probably some danger involved. Yes.
Where is this adventure and danger?
Well, if you want to come with us, we have a ship, and we will be leaving tomorrow morning.
Growing tired of staying in town as is. I could be convinced.
Okay, meet us at the docks then in the morning, and we will be off then.
Very good.
And at some point later, Thornprice will be like, "Why did you tell him to meet us at the docks? We're going into the island." "Well, we'll have to go and find him down at the docks."
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
It'll be
It
okay.
happens.
They'll find each other. And finally, let's go and see how are things going with Argos in their recruitment of Artemis.
Why, hello, my fine feline companion. But before you say anything, it looks like you're out of drink. Perhaps I can get you something quick.
Yes, a nice refill on this milk would be great.
Oh, milk. You don't want anything more fancy? Alcohol, wine, anything in particular?
No.
I'm going to pull out my jug and realize there's no wine for it or no milk for it and say, oh, okay, I'll put that back then. Sure. Good old gracious barkeep, 1 milk, please.
Milk is served.
Well, I don't wish to waste too much of your time. I am Argos. It's a pleasure to meet you. Extends a hand out.
I'm just gonna let it sit there.
Good. Excellent. Now that we have a common acquaintance of each other, you seemed thrill seeker sorts. I can just tell it's your character.
So you've heard of my exploits.
Oh, but I may have heard a thing or two, but why don't you tell me of your exploits? And I can tell you a bit of mine.
Let's save that for later. Honestly, though, it's about time that someone approaches me for work.
Indeed, you seem like someone very capable to help defend a poor, frail old man as myself. So, here's the gist. You seem like someone who's more straight to the point. We are a part of an expeditionary group looking to uncover the secrets of the island and perhaps get a fair share of coin along the way. You'll be offered an equal share, of course, and proper accommodations and lodging as you see fit. However, we will not provide your own personal equipment of such sort, but it seems that you are pretty well stocked and cared for as yourself. And I guess that's my current spiel. If you wish to learn more, we will happily meet you a little bit later to discuss more in-depth details.
I think I'm interested. Where am I meeting you? At the docks?
Why would we reach at the docks? This expedition leads deeper into the island, not away from it.
I shall meet you then in the morning.
Damn cat.
Splendid. But mayhaps I have your name before we part
Oh,
ways.
my name is Artemis.
Artemis. See, double A's. I knew we were connected in some way. Excellent. I will see you in the morning, Artemis.
And with all of the hires complete, Merkle Thornprice seems quite pleased that you were able to assemble a group so quickly. He spends the rest of the day kind of with the crew of the ship, who he's leaving behind to tend to the ship and everything like that, while he takes you seasoned or novice adventurers, whichever way it is, out into the island to seek the ruins of Thracia. Now, of course, you all have the whole day to make any preparations, or if there's anything that you need to buy, you can certainly do so. Anything from the player's handbook is readily available here in Hanowa. But barring any last-minute shopping things, you all get a good night's rest in a bed, maybe for the last time, before heading out into the wilderness. The following day, you embark with Master Thornprice from Hanowa and step foot into the wilderness. There's a clear blue skies overhead, and before you is a green plain, which provides a fantastic view of a mountain range just a few miles to the east. The weather here is very warm, very humid, typical weather for a subtropical climate, such as the one where the island of Thracia is located. And Merkle says, "Yes, my directions tell us," as he points to the horizon. "Those mountains, we follow them down due south until we find a place the locals call the Stone City. From there we head further south." And just for your reference here, the map, each hex is 1 mile. So these are kind of small hexes. I think in a day or in an hour, I think you can travel 3 hexes. So we will say that you're getting a start here at about maybe 8 a.m. or so, leaving the city. And in the first hour of travel, unless somebody wants to tell me that they're doing anything special or advocating anything differently, Thornprice's suggestion is just to kind of follow the shadow of the mountains due south.
Just quick purchasing question. Potions of healing, are those available for purchase?
Yes.
Okay, it might be important. That's why I ask. Thank you. I will buy 2.
Very good. So I'll move you 3 hexes along Merkle's trajectory. And as he is traveling with you, you're all on foot. He's got a big oversized backpack full of stuff. You can hear like pots and pans kind of clanging around, gold jingling. It seems like he's packed enough. He's expecting to be out here for a long, long time. But he engages in some idle chit chat with you as you're all traveling. After making some introductions to those of the characters that he hasn't met yet, he says, "Well, we are primed to bring into our possession a great sum of coin and treasure, I suspect you all understand." And he'll start talking more outwardly about what the destination is. And when he starts to talk about the fact that he's searching for the ruins of Thracia, suddenly you know, yes, there is great reward, but also potentially great danger ahead of you. As those of you that have spent any time here on the island know that the city of Thracia, the ruins of Thracia, are said to be the home of the Beastmen. The Beastmen is kind of a umbrella term for quite a few different types of things. Dog folk being among them, but dog folk being at the bottom of the totem pole of that order. Most of the creatures that make up the Beastmen include gnolls, maybe some goblinoids, but mostly gnolls and minotaurs. And as he is traveling, he says, hypothetically, I am curious about my traveling companions. What would you change? What would the first thing be that you would change about your life if suddenly you came into a great sum of wealth? The answer to this question tells me much about you. I'm curious about you, Artemis. What is the first thing that you would change about your life?
I think I would switch out from tilapia to salmon.
Simple pleasure, but one that makes life all the more richer. I can respect that. And you, Colm?
Go somewhere out of this godforsaken heat. Not built for this. But find a better place, more to my means, and people to help spread the word.
Yes, a man needs a home. I've been searching for one my entire life. What I believe I have learned is that home is not a thing to be found, but something to be built. That is what I seek treasure, to build a home, a place where I don't have to worry about being looked at as a monster or being hunted, a place where I can just find solitude. And you, my lizard folk friend, you are from this island. Perhaps you have insights into the answers to this question that we have not thought of.
What would I do? I do exactly what you're doing here, TP. I'd build myself a crew and go and make more money, because you can never have too much.
Yes, I worry about that for myself. Will I know when to hang it up?
I'm not sure hanging it up is a good idea at all, because if you're not making money, then you're just losing it.
It's a fair point. I seem to be going in circles on that myself. But this time will be different. This time, Thracia is the biggest prize that I have ever staked my name on. I'm feeling different about this. And you continue to travel another hour or so. And when you get to about right here, you can hear Thornprice kind of call out, "Help me, my eyes aren't as good as they once were. Do you see that? Could that be the Stone City?" And just as you cross south, you see the final mountains give way to the hillside that slowly slopes down. And you've just crest over some hilly terrain. You can see down into the lowlands of the hills. And there's basically this big, wide field that's filled with geometrically aligned standing stones. In some ways, it almost feels to you like you're gazing at a really big graveyard. There's these kind of vertical standing stones, but they're big. They're huge. Each one is 6 to 12 feet tall, and they're arranged very orderly, but strangely, in patterns, circles. Some are arranged in little triangle formations. They're the kind of designs that a child might come up with while playing dominoes. You could just imagine if these standing stones could be knocked over, one would fall into the next one and just kind of create a cascading effect. They're lined up in that kind of a way. Further beyond, you can see a small lake that's being fed by a river that's flowing down from the east. And there's one other thing that you notice as you are here, potentially. Anyone who's proficient in perception, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Well, not me.
I got a solid 5.
I got a 1.
Would this rely on hearing or smell?
Yeah, 20.
Smell. It could be smell.
I got a 21.
Doesn't
13.
smell right.
Here, a couple of 20s. So there's an audit. There's a visual cue, and there is a olfactory cue. There's definitely faintly smoke that you perceive rising from a set of standing stones that are kind of situated in a circular pattern, but they're very tight. From your vantage point, where you're like a mile or plus away, you can't really see into it, but it would seem that there might be like a campfire or something situated within those stones, and you smell that smoke from where you're at very faintly. I've got an image I can share with you that kind of shows the patterns of the stones.
I think they're cooking something.
Mm.
Some of
I
them
will
are
say
knocked
whatever
over.
I will say whatever this place might be, cannot deny the amazing masonry that went into it.
It's very strange, this place.
So how far apart are the stones?
Um,
Like space between them.
maybe a couple feet. They're pretty tight.
This would be a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
You notice there's like a straight line of stones that had been knocked over.
Yeah, something must have walked through here.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Not paying attention.
And y'all seem to have fallen a similar direction. Good eye, Lucky.
They lead down to that small circle down at the bottom,
And I'll
and
say
then beyond.
the smoke is coming from the circle, like more the topmost circle.
We don't see anybody.
From your vantage point, you can't see in there. You're like a mile away looking down.
Oh,
I never understood why people cooked their food.
Yeah, they reckon. Just
They do.
Sometimes people like to do it to add the smoky flavor of whatever they're cooking, like a nice
That
charcoal, a
This
nice
ruins
apple
the
wood.
taste.
No, it enhances it.
Agree to disagree.
Oh, fair. Can't argue with that. So, what are we thinking? Should we? I mean, we feels like we have to go through this area, or at least have a better look. This is something at least we've seen on the road. Do you think we should try to avoid whoever might be camping out in those rings, if anyone is at all?
well, someone
Is avoiding-
started that.
Yeah, is
smoke.
avoiding it worth the lack of information? We could learn something by going down there.
yeah.
Yes. Let's
I would just keep my
find out
distance
who it
until we
is.
find out.
Perhaps we could wait a moment and see if anything emerges.
We could be patient. How long would you like to wait?
I would like to get a little bit closer and see if I can find out without getting too close.
Are
Maybe.
you wanting to sneak ahead by yourself? Are you trying to scout it alone, or trying to convince the group to go ahead?
I think I'll scout it.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
12.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. As you head down there, I imagine that you go to like the knocked over stones and kind of creep through there in order to navigate closer to the circle. And as you step through, you feel like you're treading very carefully, and you're trying to approach that ring. You can see the campfire, and you're trying to gaze through the gap of just maybe like 2 feet or so, trying to get visual on face, form. And just as like you're creeping through, a halfling kind of like peeks out, almost as if they were just about to like leave the circle, and like spots you dead on. And he just says, hey, someone's trying to sneak up on us. And you see him kind of like unsheath a dagger, and you can hear like kind of like chainmail rustling a little bit. You hear a sword unsheath. You put your hands up,
Hold on.
and as you stop and put your hands up, you see a couple of individuals. You see 2 other humans. One who's wearing chainmail, has a sword in hand, drawn, 2-handed sword. You see a second halfling with a short bow in hand, kind of like further into the circle, like taking cover behind one of the stones. And you see a human in kind of dressed in leathers, kind of gruff beard, has a quarterstaff in hand. And the halfling that just spotted you says, "What are you sneaking up on us for? You trying to rob us?"
We saw. I saw your fire, and I just wanted to find out if it was dangerous here or not. I'm not trying to harm you.
You might want to announce yourself next time.
Well, I didn't know if you were some monsters or something, and I wanted to see who it was first before I announced myself.
It's just the four of us. You got others with you?
Yes, but I came ahead myself.
All right. Well, what are you doing here?
We are adventuring. We are adventure seekers. Is that what you're doing?
It is.
Good for you. Do you run across any dangerous individuals yet?
We have. We're heading back to town.
Could you're going back?
We are.
Oh, could you tell me where the danger lies so I can avoid it?
You need to beware the followers of the Dark One. Thanatos' cult is ripe within the villages of the natives here.
Vanatos?
Thanatos,
Did I say that right?
god of death.
Oh.
And you might want to be a little bit more discreet if you're going to be sneaking up on them, because they will kidnap you and stake you and burn you alive as a sacrifice to their god without a moment's hesitation.
Well, I'm usually a little bit stealthier, but I was careless this time.
Well, luckily for you,
Yeah,
it was just us that
Halflings
you...
are very perceptive. So
Well, that is the advice that we have for you. If you're going further in, just realize that there's no way to tell who is and who isn't.
oh yeah, well,
Every village
I'll,
has every village has members. You can't trust anyone.
well, thanks for the advice. I'll leave you in peace now and withdraw. What were
Hey.
you cooking anyway?
Fish from the
Oh.
lake there.
Oh, one of my members would probably like that stuff.
Well, tell
Uh,
this other member of yours, if we catch them sneaking up on us, they'll get the reward that we didn't give you. As he's just shaking his dagger at you.
all right, I'll probably tell him to come. Thank you, and I withdraw.
Sounds good. They go back to their business, and you go back to the group and report.
What did you find? Flesh-eating cannibals? What is this? What is the horrors that were before us in the stones?
They were cooking fish.
What?
They were cooking fish. They invited the cat down there, so no, it's another adventuring party, and they are heading back to town. They warned me about this cult that's from the god of death, I believe. That seems to have a lot of followers around in this area, and we should be wary of them.
I'd say it's pretty sound advice for most circumstances.
Anyway, they spotted me coming, so I chatted with them a while. Fortunately, they didn't shoot me down.
Thornprice kind of like gets a little excited in a negative way for a second. He says, "You talked to them? You did not tell them about Thracia."
No,
Oh,
I just said we were a group of adventurers
did they tell you what they were
in general.
here for? Did they tell you what they were here for?
No, and they didn't seem like they wanted to openly chat with what their business was, so
Professionals.
I didn't push it.
What about this? Whatever caused these standing stones to knock over? Did you see? Is there any danger of pressing on?
None that I have seen, but I didn't get too far into the past the first line of stones is all I went.
Well, what do you all think? Do we circumvent around this area or go through? Can't say. A little bit curious about these stones.
It sounds like we were invited for a fish dinner.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's not
We'll
at
stay
all what
behind.
it sounded like.
I don't really care for fish myself.
Perhaps we can compare notes with the group in a, professional sense.
Well,
Big dog wink.
You say there
They-
was 4
they
of
did-
them? There's 6 of us.
Yeah, I say if we want to, do we want to take what they have?
No.
I don't
I
know
was-
what if they had anything. So You'd be speculating on that.
I was more. You see here, I have this jug. See this jug? It could produce alcohol. Perhaps we help get him a little inebriated, a nice, quick little roadie back to town, and then maybe they could give us a little bit of what they know. It would give a little sprinkle of what we know, but not the correct what we know. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Let's think of a story. Mr. Colm, sir, I'm thinking
Yes.
you and Mott are part of a religious group looking to reclaim a lost temple to your deity, lost somewhere within the island, and that is why we are questing. That is the story we'll go with. Perhaps, based on what they tell us, we can learn a little something about their side of the story, or something that could help us on our end.
I'm not a very persuasive individual, so I didn't want to talk to him too much.
Oh, you
Don't
worry not.
Don't know how good of a talker I am, but the alcohol wouldn't hurt.
If it is a concern for you, you may not sell it. And he's flash his fancy coat. I was once a diplomat back in my home country. This is what I live for.
Well, I was more thinking that they stole fish from the lake. Perhaps
Isn't that what
we could convince them that they need to pay a toll to the lake.
They paid the
Let's
fish
see.
toll.
Yes,
Isn't that what taxes are?
to the
I
lake
don't think
god.
I think they know that we're not from this area, so they're not going to pay us a toll.
Well, you're not from this area. I am.
If you think you can bluff them like that, go ahead. But they are armed, and I don't really want to.
Are they armed well?
What's that?
Are they armed well?
Well enough.
What do you think?
I think they have a
Martinus?
magic user too.
I'm ready to kick some ass if it means I get some fish.
I mean,
Well,
I'm sure there's some.
so you could go down and fish a little out of the lake yourself if you wanted to.
I prefer when the fish comes to me.
Yeah,
Well-
but they already wrecked it by cooking it. So
I think cooked fish isn't that bad.
Are we
Yeah, fish is fish.
We're literally talking about fish, or you're all using fish as a metaphor for
No,
gold?
I'm talking about fish.
I don't want any
I
fish.
think they're talking about the metaphor.
I think. Wait, I thought it was the literal fish we're talking about.
I thought we were talking about literal fish too.
How do I say this? I don't think we should be staking the success of this operation on a couple of fish. Perhaps we leave them be.
Okay.
Yeah, they probably ate them already anyway.
Do we want to explore the ruins?
Yes.
I'd say
That's
so.
why we're
Perhaps,
here.
perhaps
I
learning what
agree.
may have caused those stones to topple over might give us insight to what might be lurking in this area.
So you all wish to approach the stones and maybe specifically where the stones have fallen over?
Yes. Yes, where the knocked over or fallen ones are, yes.
You climb down and begin taking a look at those that have been fallen. Someone want to give a survival check, and an investigation check would be in order.
24 on the survival.
Okay. What you find in this vicinity are these huge claw marks. They almost look like really large chicken feet in the earth, but it would have to be a chicken that was 20 feet tall.
How fresh would said
Not
chicken marks
super
be?
fresh, probably a couple weeks old, but the size of the creature has left enough of a divot in the earth that even though it's like dried and not probably several rains have happened since this occurred, it has not eroded away the print.
Think of the turkey dinner you could have with that bird.
It's all you think
thinking
about
it
is
would
eating?
make more of a dinner out of you than you out of it.
Anyone roll investigation?
Anybody good at
I didn't find
investigation?
anything.
Let's see what happens. Nope.
Doesn't appear. You don't see any writing or anything on the stones. They all just look like blank. Mott, there's a feeling about this place that kind of speaks. It's almost like a primal feeling. Like there's something about this place that you almost feel like a reverence as soon as you approach. Like you almost feel like almost a compulsion to like stand these stones up. I don't know, almost like the awe-inspiring feeling of walking into like a great cathedral that you've only seen pictures of, but you understand, from a cognitive standpoint that it's a beautiful thing, but like the experience of standing in it just almost takes your breath away. It's like that kind of a feeling.
So it's like a religious feeling.
Maybe borderline religious, but just like this is impressive to you on a primal level, this place, and it feels like something that should be cared for whatever reason, a reason you can't explain.
All right, I'll try and lift these rocks and stand them back up.
Give me a strength athletics check. They're very heavy.
Ooh, I rolled an 18, so that's a 17.
17. Like you lifting it up and like you're getting it like a couple feet off the ground because you're motivated to try to push this thing up, but it's just too much. You're not enough to like actually stand it up, but it's impressive enough that you're able to pick it up that far. And the rest of you
Wow,
see him, like,
someone
he's really
doesn't-
putting his everything into it.
Someone does not skip leg day. I
Someone
give
must
a slight
be on
clap.
taking steroids.
No.
Maybe I should try the raw diet.
As you
It's. Oh, go ahead.
as you lift it up and you have to drop it, a part of it cracks, and there's like a pattern in the crack of the stone that kind of vaguely looks like a skull. If you turn your head,
I'm wondering
just right,
if this is
close
a
an eye.
burial ground.
It's a lot of graves.
Does it
Yes.
look like the destruction is just from something passing through, or does it look intentional?
Based on the footprints that you picked up on, it would seem that best you could tell, like a really large wild thing, animal or monstrosity, just tore through the middle of this field.
That's what I figured. But
Mott, as you look at that crack, you and only you, the rest of the characters don't have this experience, but the sky seems to darken, and what was the clear blue sky darkens and becomes a starry sky above you. And you just feel like your gaze get pulled up, and you see these green, glowing, baleful stars in the sky. And there's like a constellation up there, almost very vaguely in the shape of like a lizard folk face gazing down at you. And you just hear in your head, moos.
Sorry, you cut out.
Moos.
No, my name's Mott. You're close, though.
Is he talking to himself?
For just like a
He's-
moment for you, but everybody else sees you just like staring up at the sky, muttering to yourself a little bit. Suddenly, everything goes back to normal for you, Mott.
Do you think he knows if you stare at the sun too long, you go blind? Should we stop
I don't think he
him?
knows
Right.
that.
Because we don't even know it turned to night for him.
Well,
You good?
of course. I saw a vision. They got my name
Oh.
wrong, though.
Okay.
They said Moss instead of Mott.
Maybe they weren't calling your name.
Is anyone proficient in religion?
yes,
I have history.
Anyone who's proficient in religion can do a religion check.
that's not going to tell anything because I rolled a 1.
Okay, unfamiliar with that one. It was a hide you see anyway, but
So your vision wants you to relay something about vegetation?
Possibly. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to talk to some elders about this.
Right, because we are part with the religious constabulary. Yes. Excellent work, Mott. Good point.
Okay.
This means we're on the same page. I see what you're doing. You're more clever than you think.
Oh, I thought maybe you had something in your nose.
No.
all right.
Well, I believe we're staying our welcome here a little too long. Perhaps we should continue on.
All right. Thornprice,
Avoid.
go ahead.
I'll say avoid large chickens is what I was going to say.
We'll say that everything at the ruins there took about an hour. So it's about noon or so. And you continue due south. And you come upon the rainforest. Thornprice directs you in, suggesting there should be a river that you will come across and follow that due east. And after a little bit of wandering through the rainforest, you come upon a well-traveled path of packed earth, too wide and worn to be a simple animal trail. The sound of birds insects, tree frogs is very constant. It soon just becomes kind of a fading noise in the background for you, but it makes the sounds of a struggle, which you hear a short distance to the east, somewhat difficult to notice at first, but as you key in on it, you hear a scream. Thornprice's attention becomes alert. Did you? What was that? And he slaps Artemis. Artemis, wake up!
I'm listening.
Did you hear that?
It sounded like
No,
a
I'm bad.
scream.
Do we want to
But
check it
I
out?
don't believe it. I'd say
Agreed.
so. If someone's out here in the woods, in the forest, and no one's around, is there someone truly there to save them? But us, we are the ones to save them. Because you know what? We're adventuring heroes from from the clergy. Wink, wink.
We're going with that story then, huh?
Yes, unless you want to tell everybody we're hunting ruins of the city.
It feels like a false dichotomy that those are the only two choices that we have, but we will go with your plan, Argos.
Excellent. I'm gonna adjust my coat, and a flash of moisture appears on it, and I will cast Armor of Agathis upon myself.
Very good.
Because you never know.
Any other preparations anyone is making? All right. So you continue down the trail towards the sounds of the commotion, and you very soon come upon its source. You see an unarmed man lays injured on the ground. There's a woman that is helping him to his feet, while simultaneously there are 4 individuals wielding scimitars surrounding them, crowding in around them. Now, was the group kind of cautiously arriving at this scene? If so, we could do a group stealth check to see if you can get a surprise round.
I would say that Artemis definitely was.
Sounds
I
good.
normally attempt to not cause a lot of noise.
Okay, so everybody give a stealth check, and we will average that and see if you get a surprise round here.
Ooh. 25.
25,
22.
22,
22.
10.
10,
I got a
14.
12.
14, and 12 was the other one, Nick? Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. You all managed to get the jump on these 4 individuals, so we can go ahead and roll initiative, but you guys will have a surprise round. So go ahead and roll.
What do these individuals look like other than wielding scimitars?
They're wielding
Like,
scimitars.
are they in robes?
They are not wearing robes. 2 of them, well, they're all bare-chested. Tribal tattoos. They each have a silver necklace that they're wearing that has it's a skull pendant with turquoise eyes, some kind of symbol of membership. All of them bald.
They must be these cultists.
Cannibals. I knew it.
All right. Argos.
16.
Lucky.
10.
Artemis.
6.
Mott.
9.
And Colm.
11.
All right. Argos, you are up first.
How far away are we from the bare-chested, balding men with scimitars? Would you say we're able to run up into melee with them, or we still probably need a bit to be in range?
1 second. I will roll. Oh, you're 30 feet away, so you're within
Excellent.
that range.
I will approach up into melee with one of them. I will point my finger at them and say, "You know it's rude to attack strangers in the middle of the woods. You should know better." And I will use my bonus action to hex him with weakening his strength. And I will pull out my cane and whack him for 17 to hit.
Hits.
He will take 9 points of damage.
That one goes down. And that brings us to Colm.
So, Argos, you're just next to 1. You're not within range of
I
another.
was.
Okay. I will move up to another and attack. I got a 19.
That hits.
That actually. Okay. For 8 points of damage with my Warhammer.
Oh, you smack him a pretty good crack right into his chest. He falls backwards, and he's struggling to breathe, but he's still on his feet. Kind of clutches at that silver pendant. And does anybody here speak modern Thracian?
Yes.
He says something in modern Thracia. He just says, Thanatos, let me honor you before you take me. And that'll bring us to Lucky.
I will move 10 feet up and then fire my short bow. And that will be 11.
Are you attacking? Which one are you attacking? Like a brand new one or the injured one?
I'll fire at the injured one.
Okay. You do have pack tactics. Did you roll at advantage?
No, I did not.
Go ahead and roll it again.
Okay, that will be 12.
12 is what you need.
Okay. So if it's a hit, then he will take 7 points of damage.
So just as he utters out his prayer to his dark god, arrow goes right through his skull. He drops. 2 cultists left. Mott, it is your turn.
I will pull out my crossbow and fire at one of the other ones. That's probably going to miss. That's 8.
That misses. Artemis.
Somebody want to fetch that?
I'm gonna shoot the same one that Mott just tried to shoot.
Okay.
25
That hits.
for 10 damage.
That one goes down. 1 left. Argos. We're in the. That was the surprise round. Now we're in the regular turn order. Argos, you're up.
I will shift my hex over to him and also weaken his strength if it comes relevant. I will spout to the group. They're evil Thanatos cultists. So they are evil. We are justified in the name of our clergy. Wing. And I'm going to strike him with my cane. I assume a natural 1 does not hit.
No, it doesn't. It becomes the cultist's turn,
Ah!
and he swings, pledging to take you to meet his dark god. Let's see, a 16 to hit
16 will not hit.
misses. And with that, Colm, it is your turn.
Well, I will move up and attack. I got your god right here. I have advantage, right, with pack tactics.
Yep,
I only hit an 11, so that probably misses.
that one misses. Dodges out of the way. It turns to Lucky's turn.
All right, I fire another arrow. There's no damaged ones, are there?
No, there's just this one left.
Okay, he's getting it then.
You better look out.
And that will be 16.
That hits.
And the damage is 6.
All right. He is still up. Mott, it is your turn.
All right, Mott's going to run up and he's going to try and bite this thing.
All right.
He's a little hungry. That's a 21.
Hits.
To hit. 5 points of damage.
All right. Tell us about the bite that takes him down.
So he goes for the throat and he rips it off and he starts chewing it.
Just muscle tissue ripping, tendons ripping
Yeah,
right
yeah,
out,
yeah.
snapping back. As he
Ooh.
fell the last one, the two, the man and the woman, let out some hearty thank yous. They kind of just both get down on their knees and they just almost seem like they're maybe making some prayers of their own. Definitely not to Thanatos, but
Got any gold?
they say, are you speaking in modern Thracian?
No,
They say
just
they
common.
Just gold.
How injured does he look? You said he was injured, right?
Yeah, he's definitely got like a sword slash that looks somewhat superficial across his side. He doesn't look like he's sustained any like mortal injuries.
Okay.
Whoa.
The man just like points to himself, realizing you maybe have a language barrier a bit, and he just says, Akeem, Tina.
Lucky.
I will begin speaking in modern Thracian if I'm trying to. I'll go through my languages first. I will go for common sign language, null, and then modern Thracian as I try to say hello, 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 hello. Trying to find the right hello.
If you start speaking Knoll, they become a little fearful. As soon as
Nope,
you
not
switch,
that- no,
as soon
not
as you
that
switch to modern Thracian, then they go, you speak our language.
Oh yes.
And they're just like looking at like the others, and they say, you're not beastmen.
No, I am Argos, diplomat of. It doesn't matter.
Your friend
This
says
is
this
my
word
traveling.
gold.
Oh, he's just more of a thrill seeker, money man. It's fine. You don't have to pay us nothing. But I'll say you have nothing.
As for gold and no
Wink.
in
No, gold means reward. You deserve a reward for saving our lives. A village elder. We could take you to our village. It is a safe place. You could get a reward there.
I believe that could probably be arranged. I will turn to the group and translate.
As you turn to the group, you'll see Thornprice is going to the cultists and removing the silver chain. It's 1, 2, 3. Oh, good. A village.
Just be careful of those, Mr. Thornprice. They might be cursed of some sort. I don't know. They were chanting the death god's prayers before we slaughtered them.
Yes.
Just be cautious.
I don't know. Gold's gold.
Anyone have any things they wish to say to the lovely couple?
Do they know anything about these cultists? Where they come from? Is that something we should ask the tribal chief?
Why were they attacking them?
I'll play any intermediary in
Sure.
this circumstance.
They will say that they are followers of Thanatos. Once upon a time, they were members of their community, but they've fallen to the Dark One. They've joined his cult and now do his bidding and wage war against their former kin, coming into the villages, kidnapping their neighbors, and presumably taking them somewhere as sacrifices or slaves or both. They don't know so much about where they come from. They'll say that all of this started when many of the villages in the region had come together to try to send an expedition to the old city of Thracia, to try to take it back, or at least assess the feasibility of taking it back from the beastmen. And those individuals never came back, but over time, they've seen them wearing those necklaces, and suddenly, almost as if their identities had been washed away, and that they don't seem to remember their former lives. They'll say they were good people. They were good people before they fell to the Dark One, but now they're unrecognizable.
How far is the village?
Oh, not far. Maybe 2-3 miles.
just in case, don't put any of those necklaces on.
I would be fine going to the village.
I'd say it'd be good. We have been walking a little bit, perhaps a moment's respite, and gathering some knowledge about the local terrain might be good for us. I mean, if it seems like the destination they refer to, this old city of Thracia or something or another, wink, if it's full of these evil beastmen and cultists, it might be good to learn more about possible dangers in that area as best to avoid it. Wink.
Or perhaps a place to set up a church. Wink.
Wink. Yes, that's why I knew we had a good feeling about you.
My friends.
Look, he doesn't get it. He's not. You got something in your eye.
Oh, this is my nose.
Do we need to do all the winking? They don't understand what we're saying anyway, right?
Context clues, Captain. Context clues.
I see.
They could be faking it.
That would be clever. Well, I think that we should seek out this village, if nothing else, to make some allies here in the region. And if they do have a village, it might be a good place to hunker down and take shelter.
I don't
even
speak
lucky.
in Knoll. They don't like that.
Yes, I noticed that too.
Beastmen. Well, it seems that we're getting a little bit of a first taste of the dangers of this area. Shall we? Ask them to lead the way.
Yes.
And as you do, they continue leading you kind of along the same jungle trail that you were following to get to this point. It continues further southeast before opening into a clearing with a massive fire pit at its center. This takes you maybe about another hour or so. So we're probably looking at maybe like 1:32 or so by the time you arrive in Hamlet. And I will give you a little image that kind of will help to go along with this description of the village. But what you see beyond the fire pit are huts at ground level and massive tree houses that can be seen throughout the jungle canopy above, with rope bridges kind of stringing them together into a network of streets among the trees. As you are arriving, you can see that citizens are wandering the area bearing weapons. There are archers that look down at you from tree houses up above, and they maybe pull their bowstrings taut when they initially see you, but Akeem and Tina move forward and kind of take the lead in communicating with them to let them know that you are friends. Akeem will turn to the group and through Argos, your translator, will suggest that you seek out the village shaman, Sawikit. And I see that we've got a couple of people that maybe stepped away, so maybe this is a good time just to take a short little break. So I'll take a 5-10 minute break, and when we return, perhaps we will meet with the shaman and see what he knows. So back in a bit. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be right back. Hi there. I am adding this to the tail end of our session because we experienced a number of kind of technical hiccups with the rest of the session, which we had to. It probably doesn't yield itself to a very good viewer experience. So I am putting this here at the end just to kind of give a summary of what transpired at the end of this gaming session. Basically, the characters did meet with the village shaman Sawikit, who explained to them that they had a number of months prior sent an expedition to the ruined city of Thracia, and what happened was those villagers must have experienced something down in the caverns beneath the ruined city, because they all sort of gave up their identities and turned to this cult of the Dark One, of Thanatos, this death cult. And in the coming months had received a number of raids and kidnappings where their former villagers had come into their communities and stolen away their people, presumably for sacrifices and such. So Wicket told them about a dormant volcano about several miles to the east, outside of the rainforest and in the desert, and had asked them for assistance in trying to track down their missing kin and to take care of the leader of that sect, a man by the name of Damocles, who was Sawikit's brother. Sawikit had no, had some great sadness to report this, but when the characters asked him if he should be put down, he said yes, he must be put to the sword. He was responsible for the deaths of many innocent people, including children, and in his eyes, his brother was gone. His brother no longer was the man that he knew and loved. So the characters, I guess one other thing that happened was Mott did ask him something about those stones that they encountered, and so Wicket told them that, in very broken common, that site has something to do with the lizard folk. That the lizard folk predate the humans on Thracia and are a very ancient species, and maybe suggested that they have a mysticism that predates the gods that they worship. But the site itself, a mystery. So something for Mott to continue to maybe dwell on, or maybe ask his own kind if they are ever encountered. So anyway, the characters did set out from the town. They received a little bit of a boon from Sawikit. They received a number of good berries and a few potions of healing. I think 3 potions of healing and a potion of fire resistance, which they split amongst some of the new crew members. They headed out east. They went to the volcano. They did some scouting around. They found that there were 3 entrances. One on the kind of the northwest side of the volcano base, one at the northern tip, and one on the eastern tip. They initially were looking for footprints. They had some successful wisdom survival checks. They went to the eastern side because they found that there was very little foot traffic that way. Tried to go in, found out that cavern was had experienced some kind of a cave-in. They would have had to have spent many hours, probably a full day, honestly, of clearing out the passageway, and so they decided that was probably a poor plan. They decided to go to the northern entrance, went into the tunnel, the cave, and they led into this cave system. They encountered a couple of guards at the front, and they successfully snuck up. I've never seen a group be so successful on sneaking up and as a group ambushing, and they did so. They managed to clear them out, proceeded forward into the volcano. They came across some dog folk that they spoke to. The dog folk were wearing the same silver necklaces with the skull pendant that the cultists had. But when they engaged in conversation with the dog folk, they seemed pretty clueless. They referred to the necklaces as collars, and they seemed very obedient to the cultists without really understanding much about the religious undertones of everything. So anyways, the characters managed to kind of keep them in the dark, keep them confused, moved past them, and at the very tail end of our session, walked right in to the chambers of Adamocles. And as Adamocles was surprised by their entrance, we rolled initiative. We had a big combat, which the characters kind of felled Adamocles and his cultists pretty quickly. In a last-ditch effort, Adamocles cast Spirit Guardians and summoned these Grim Reapers that kind of started swirling about in the air. Level 1 group. I think Spirit Guardians deal something like 3d8 damage on a failed wisdom save, so he was about to tear them up, but luckily they managed to get the final blow on him before any long-term damage could be done to them. So they were very successful in taking out the leader of this sect of the cult. They picked up a cloak of protection off of him, and they also found a map that detailed a piece of the ruins of Symbarum and showed some of the entrances to the dungeon levels. So that'll be something that they follow up on. Next session, probably the group is going to come back because they didn't successfully rescue any of the villagers, so they'll probably be coming back to try to do that. And in subsequent adventures, we'll go to the ruins of Thracia and try to enter into some of those entrances that they found on the map. So that's a recap of what happened. So sorry about the technical issues if you were getting invested in our session and wanted to see it blow by blow. But yeah, Discord was really screwing with us that night. So apologies for that. Here at the tail end, a real quick plug, come join our Discord if you had fun listening and watching our game. If you want to be a part of the campaign, it's open. So just drop in our Discord and let us know that you're interested in playing into our Caverns of Thracia game. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our community. And we hope to either see you in the chat or see you for a game here pretty soon. So thank you. We'll see you soon.